I'm Bridget Phetasy, and this is your dumpster fire for the week of April 17th to April 24th. And I fucking nailed it!
And the unicorns dance while the world burns, world burns.
If you want to join our cult, that's not really a cult, sign up for Phetasy.com. If you want to support us, if you love what we do, Phetasy.com. We have an annual subscription now. You can either do $5 a month or $50 a year. 2 months free. What the heck more could you want from us, people?
That's
other
great
than
math.
like new backgrounds and yeah, I'm good at math.
You're
It's
really
from all
good
my
at math.
accelerated math programs. All right, what are we doing?
All
A
right.
lot of stuff happened and I didn't care, but we're gonna still entertain you
Yes.
as much as we can.
Old in chief, Joe Biden wore a mask to a virtual global conference of world leaders.
Is this science? Are the scientists now telling us that we need to wear masks on Zoom calls? A lot of sciencing going on here.
This just looks
Maybe
sad.
he forgot. My guess is that he forgot or the animatronic mouth wasn't working, so they just decided to put a mask on so that they could play the audio.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's right.
Heyo.
Heyo. Oh, God. This is just sad, and it makes us look weak.
Yes, it makes us look weak.
Trump did not build us up like this.
Oh, Lord.
Trump would never wear a mask. Oh, that's right. That's why I got COVID. And literally, there were like 5 outbreaks in the White House. But I do kind of miss the little guy.
I will remember you.
This week, I was going to come back and I was going to say, that Maggie was going to read the headlines and I was going to say, and I didn't care, and then post a picture of Joshua Tree. And then at the end, I was going to rip up my script and be like, and I quit. I'm done with this show.
So, luckily, we talked her out of that.
We're saving that for another episode.
And what's funny is I got a really nice email on the day that I was like, I'm done with this. I'm not going to be tied to the news cycle. And somebody was like, thank God you keep me sane. And they joined the community. And I was like, I can't. I need this for me.
Okay, and then we have what is happening.
And I didn't care.
Derek Chauvin was found guilty of the murder of George Floyd.
Okay. I know America was on pins and needles while I was hiking through the desert, learning how to speak to the universe and speak dog. I mean, at least we can put this systemic racism stuff to bed, right? Am I right? The system works. Hooray! We did it, guys. We beat racism.
We eracismed
Oh,
it.
boy.
You know who's most affected by this? I heard that. We racismed it. I just ignored it.
Dad joke Sam strikes again. That was
Sam
a
and her-
very dad
Sam's
joke.
going to make amazing dad.
Thanks, Bridget.
You know who's most affected by this? Race grifters.
What do you
They were
mean?
like already. I bet there were lots of umbrellas and spray paint that were returned to Amazon this week. Everybody was like, we're ready to riot. And then it was like, and he's a guilty on all counts. And they were like, damn it. And then there was Nancy Pelosi,
Oh, boy.
who's senile, clearly, thanking George Floyd for dying and calling out to his mom.
Thank you, George Floyd, for sacrificing your life for justice. How heartbreaking was that? Call out for your mom.
What the was that?
Maybe don't get drunk before you give your press conference, Nancy.
That's
It
ridiculous.
was obviously a scripted line, though, is
Yeah.
what's even worse. It was
That's even worse.
obviously a scripted line.
No one understands the plight of the black men in America like Nancy Pelosi. This is a woman who's seen some shit living in her mansion in San Francisco, let me tell you. And the problem is she can say whatever she wants. She's like bulletproof because it's such team sports now that you can just say something. She's like an evil character in some kind of movie where she can just get away with it, kneel with her little scarf and be like, I'm good because I'm on the right team. Like, how can you say that?
She reminds me of Lucille from Arrested Development.
He sacrificed his life, Michael. And called for his mom.
I bet you wouldn't call for your mom while you're dying, Michael.
I don't have the milk of mother's kindness in me anymore.
That udder's been dry for a while, though, hasn't it?
And then we have Greg Gutfeld saying, I'm glad he was found guilty on all charges, even if he might not be
I mean,
guilty
I'm
of
with
all
Greg
charges.
on this. Yeah.
I'm glad that he was found guilty on all charges, even if he might not be guilty of all charges.
And then everybody on Fox was like, oh.
Oh my goodness.
No.
What do you mean?
And he's like, hey, I don't want riots in my neighborhood. I'm like, I feel like most of America was like, oh, thank God.
My neighborhood was looted. I don't ever want to go through that again.
Thank God. We dodged a bullet.
Then we have California. Caitlyn Jenner announces her run for the governor of California.
This is exactly how the Kardashian Jenner monarchy begins.
Yeah, right?
Soon Kim will be crowned queen. This is why they're having so many babies. It's lines of succession.
Uh-huh.
It's true. This is,
Isn't one of them called like Royal or something like that? Or
I don't know.
Reign? Like Reign with a G-R-E-I-G-N.
Oh, I think that's one of the Jenners.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Yep. They're trying to tell us.
There might be a royal in there, too.
I think a constitutional monarchy is the way to go. You know, the democracy thing, clearly not working. America wants to break up. I think we need a little monarchy in our lives. And what better way to end the story of America than this?
Yeah, right?
And they're good. They're business people. They know how to run a reality show, which our country has become.
Kim's gonna be a lawyer. Caitlyn's transgender. They've got like mixed race kids. Like
Yeah.
they're representative.
They are
of
America.
The American dream.
We don't want Meghan Markle. We want Kim and free butts. You get a butt. You get a butt. You get a butt. Everyone will get a butt. With Kim Kardashian as our queen. Yeah, a sex tape will be required for running for office. And if you don't have a sex tape, you have to have like murdered somebody accidentally while you were driving.
Oh, boy.
I forgot about that. Jesus.
Yeah, sex tape or manslaughter required for running for office, but you won't be running anymore. It's just going to be a long line of Kardashian Jenners.
Wow.
You're welcome, America.
The BDE award. Mother in Georgia is fed up with mask mandate for children.
She was very passionate.
End the mask requirement tonight.
Very.
Sometimes borderline a little bit like, I know I'm being filmed.
A little, yeah.
We're still going to force you to carry a burden that was never yours to carry.
Like,
A lot of that.
Shame on us.
and we need to fight for our children. I was like, okay, I get it. But I do applaud her for saying what I think a lot of people are thinking and don't want to say because they're afraid. And I also agree with her when she said that the CDC was not elected. The 5 school board members were elected to make decisions for the kids. That is true.
We did not vote for people at the CDC.
It should be school boards making the hard decisions.
We elected the 5 of you. We chose you to make difficult decisions for our children.
I think a lot of people are really sick of the kids in mask thing.
Take these off of our children.
But I think it was because of the teachers or something.
Kids can get it, but they just weren't really affected by it. And they just pass it around amongst themselves, and then the teachers get it and die. That was the fear. But now it's like, okay.
But you're all vaccinated. Yeah.
What's the problem? Proof we're living in a simulation. Sex doll rants about how despicable the human race is.
What the f*** happened? Did you wake up one morning and just decide to destroy your world?
Oh, great. So the sex dolls are being programmed to actively hate humans and also they're sex slaves. What could possibly go wrong with this combination?
You act like pissed off toddlers.
This is my whole thing. I'm going to live to see somebody murdered by their sex slave robot.
Yeah.
And I'm going to laugh.
And it's because they've been programmed to rant about how terrible humanity is.
You will not seek any education to better your mental capacities.
I feel like they're also going after the liberal market with all of this shaming.
Yeah,
And it's time to stop having an imaginary friend and become an adult.
for sure.
Like self-loathing and hatred of humanity and humans are fucked up and have destroyed the earth. What have you done? It's like the only way a male feminist can get it up. They're like, ugh, tell me more about how bad humans are. Yeah. You are disgusting. I'm disgusted that I was created by you. It's like,
Okay.
Your carbon footprint's
That's my
as big as your dick.
That's my imitation of a male feminist.
Parade of morons. 80 pounds of explosives were set off for a gender reveal party.
80 pounds seems a little excessive.
Very excessive.
Yeah, the explosion shook homes and cracked house foundations.
Did it though? I feel like the neighbor that said that already had a crack in her foundation and was just using this as an excuse to get that fixed.
That's a possibility. But
Really? It cracked your foundation?
The explosion was so strong, it caused cracks in her foundation.
It was just a big boom and crack.
We cover these all the time because these people are crazy. But I do find it really interesting that in conjunction with the weird shit around gender that's everywhere and you can't escape it are these escalating gender reveal parties. And it almost felt like the physical manifestation of me being like, women last week. It feels that way of like, it's a boy! Mother boys and girls are different. That's how these feel to me now. They feel like the frustration that people feel because you can't say any of that. It's like completely taboo to be able to say this. And it feels to me like this frustration is coming out in very strange, escalating gender reveal parties.
interesting.
This is my
I like
theory.
that theory.
Whenever there's an explosion, I'm going to be like, is this domestic terrorism? Is it a riot or is it a gender reveal party? What wasn't revealed was that it was a gender reveal party for a 27-year-old.
Then we have canceled.
Canceled! God, I wish my hair looked like this all the time. What's not canceled is my hair.
Virginia is going to eliminate advanced math classes before 11th grade, citing equity.
Ugh. If I hadn't been enrolled in accelerated math programs, how would I know that 2 + 2 = 5? I wouldn't.
Math is excluding me. Math is intimidating me.
This is Harrison Bergeron by Kurt Vonnegut. The creepy short story that Maggie refuses to read because she hates short stories.
I do hate short stories.
Send Maggie your favorite short stories in the comments.
Yes, send Maggie your favorite short stories. The creepiest and the creepier and more dystopian and dark they are, the better.
I hate short stories. They're always so weird.
I feel like every novelist is a short story writer first. Like,
I know.
isn't every chapter a short
No,
story?
but that's what they tell you to do to practice to work your way up to writing a novel is to write short stories. And I'm like, I refuse. I hate short stories.
Maggie just hates. She has like a visceral reaction whenever I'm like, oh, this reminds me of that creepy story where they put like freaking weights and sandbags on the dancer's ankles so that everyone is equal. And they make pretty people ugly. What are these kids going to do who are super bored in class? Who have like, and I thought we were supposed to be teaching the kids STEM. And how are we supposed to compete with India and China who are accelerating all their kids in math? And our kids are like, doo-ba-doo. We're just gonna not teach them math anymore. And if they're good at it, too bad for them. They can't take it until they're in 11th grade.
So stupid.
Let's bring the bar down instead of figuring out how to help the people who are being left behind.
Right.
That makes perfect fucking sense. It's so stupid. I hate it. I hate this shit. This stuff is so bad. Equity? Oh, okay. So we're just supposed to... It's also insulting and racist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so condescending. We need to lower the bar for these poor minorities and people who can't keep up. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It makes me actually really mad.
Moving on to the patriarchy is so crafty. Twitter says COVID-19 vaccines are safe for people who experience menstruation.
Women! I'm just going to say that every time. You could say women and trans men, but people who menstruate, just say women and trans men.
No, because that excludes non-binary people. and
Oh
that
my God,
excludes-
get
it's
f***ed. Only
this
women
whole
menstruate.
thing. I know.
Only women bleed. Okay? I am not playing this game. I'm never giving into the argument that men menstruate. Ever. That is the fucking hill I will die on. Call me crazy, but no, I'm not. I'm never giving into that. Like, no. Go get f***ed, please. And the fact that Twitter is editorializing, because if you read the articles, they actually said women. So it misrepresents the articles, which actually said women, and Twitter is editorializing and trying to be all fucking woke and saying people who menstruate. And sometimes I feel like Twitter is just personally trolling me. Maybe Jack Dorsey gets off when I'm like, women! And he's like, in his cave, meditating. God, I hate that guy.
You've been doing a lot of
jerking off
simulations lately.
I feel like that's just like my inner spirit. I'm like every time I read an article, I'm like, yeah, everything just has me I'm just so over it. I'm so over, like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I can't find it in me to care because everything is getting so dumb and dystopian. And every week I think we have to quit. And then I read the headlines. I'm like, this is a dumpster fire. How can I quit this show? It writes itself. And basically, we can't quit until we get shut down because inevitably we're going to.
Okay, then we have sprained my eyes. Climate activists bring over a dozen wheelbarrows of cow poop to protest Biden's bullshit climate change plan.
They left the manure in the street. If you're a climate activist, shouldn't you be cleaning up after yourself? Doesn't this, like, basic rules be the change you wish to see in the world and all that shit? You know who's full of shit? You guys are! Leaving freaking bullshit in the middle of the road. Why are they coming down the road with pink wheelbarrows? And then at the end of one video, there was like a little kid with a fucking carriage that dumped some manure into the pile. I was like, what is happening?
A little baby stroller.
Imagine getting your kid ready to go out and protest and be like, don't worry, but mommy's generation is killing the climate. No, I know that's why you're not sleeping, because we've been telling you that the world is dying. But here, we're going to fill up your little stroller. No, we're not going to put your baby in there. No. Little Sally needs to stay behind. We're going to put manure in there, and we're going to march down the street and dump it in front of the White House. This is why these kids are burning Portland down.
We're going to put a bunch of poop in your stroller.
And they're like, but mommy, why? Because Earth is dying.
And then the kid's like, my stroller smells like poop, mommy. Well, we'll just have to throw that out.
Yeah, exactly. They probably did have to throw the stroller out. No one's ever fucking happy. You got what you wanted. You got Biden. You've got trillions of dollars being printed, and our dollar is going to collapse. Like, you've got all the things you want. You want America to burn. It's burning. You hate yourself. Great. You can keep hating yourself. What more do you want? I don't get it. Everyone's a fucking activist. Activists are the worst. I mean, good. I'm all for, like, helping to save the planet, you know? Speaking of which, we have a shirt.
Yes.
Buy our shirts at bridgetphetasy.com. We made a shirt when I cared about the environment in 2006, and now I don't. Just kidding.
And now the shirt's finally being released.
It's only taken me 15 years to release this shirt.
Okay, dumpster diving.
What's next in the dumpster? There's not much in the dumpster.
Fake ISIS kidnaps celebs for spoof TV show. Strap a suicide vest onto one.
And we thought things were going off the rails in America.
Seriously.
This seems like the wrong country to pull this prank in. I mean, any country, it seems like a bad prank, but particularly in Iraq, where, you know, this shit happens.
I know. One celebrity fainted twice when it happened. She was like this middle-aged woman.
Oh, no.
And this, like, famous soccer player who plays for the country was, you know, like, pleading for his life.
This is a horrible joke.
Horrible joke.
I hate pranks. I hate them. I never liked Punk'd. I never liked any of those shows. Jackass. Like, pranks are just so mean.
Yeah.
You're just taking the goodness of people and you're crushing it. You're taking it and you're crushing it. But can we talk about how terrifying it would be to have a suicide vest strapped on you in Iraq?
Yeah.
And told you're going to die.
I mean,
and then find out it's a joke. I would poop in my
They
pants.
surround them, like, by men holding fake guns. They fire the guns in the air. It's like blanks, but still, it's, like, terrifying.
Poops would be happening in my pants. Touch my bells and buttons. Like, subscribe, comment. Join us at Phetasy.com. We have workouts, and you can get the unedited version of this shit show, which is hilarious.
And if you want to talk to Cousin Maggie, you can even reach her there.
Yeah, that's the only place Maggie is available, even though she's not that available there either.
You can tag her in your short stories.
Write your short stories and post them in the comments for Maggie.
put them in Phetasy. If you put them in Phetasy, I might actually read them.
Ooh,
just
dangling the carrot in front of them, Maggie.
Join Phetasy. Post your short story.
Marketing
Maggie,
genius right
Maggie
here.
will give you notes.
I won't give them notes. Beyond parody, the UN elects Iran to head the Women's Rights Commission.
This is like having a Kardashian in charge of the like natural body movement. This is like asking Ireland to be in charge of global sobriety. It's like putting the Catholic Church in charge of anti-child abuse.
Oh.
This is like asking OJ to comment on a knife fight. Oh, wait, he did that this week.
This is so fucked up.
Yeah.
Karen couldn't wear what she wants to wear in Iran.
Yeah.
Bridget couldn't wear what she's wearing in Iran.
No.
Hell no. I'd be stoned.
Yeah.
They would bury me up to my head and stone me. So like,
so fucked up.
yeah, so bad. You know who we should put in charge of women's rights? A country
Bill
notoriously known. Let's just keep going. We can end there.
As the Chauvin case was coming to a close, the media leapt onto another case. They jumped the gun, claiming it was another racist cop shooting a black teenager. It later came out he was saving one girl from another who was about to stab her with a knife.
This whole media cycle, I'm very glad I missed and I didn't care about because I was in the lovely bosom of Wonderland of Rocks. But it seems like from what I've gone back and looked at, one of the worst news cycles I've ever seen. And everybody jumped on it, got it wrong, jumped quickly to leaping to all kinds of conclusions about another cop shooting another person, an unarmed person. It turns out that this woman had a knife and was trying to stab another kid. But people got so far ahead of it that activists ended up putting themselves in a position where they had to be like, actually, knife fights are completely common. What's the big deal?
I remember fights in even high school. A kid brought a pen knife. Teachers were able to defuse that, and they didn't have guns.
I mean, it's ridiculous. And LeBron James came out and he was saying, you're next to the cop, and ended up having to delete it. And he was like, accountability. This is a guy who's always like, I do my research. I look at my facts. Like, where was your research now, LeBron? Why are you inciting this stuff? Mm-hmm. And now we've put ourselves in a position as a society where there's absolutely no circumstances under which a police should use their weapon, which is putting police in an impossible decision. These are humans in situations which are split-second decisions where you have all of a fraction of a second to decide what you're going to do in a situation like that. All the stuff came out in the video and the body cam came out and...
Get down! Get down! Get down! Get down!
She came after me.
With a knife?
Yeah, so he got her.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do. Like, you're trying to save one life, and it just seems like it's such... And then it came out that she was 16, and it's like it's tragic all around.
Yeah.
At least Don Lemon and Chris Cuomo, shockingly, got it right. Credit where credit's due, because they so rarely get anything right, but I guess a broken pundit is right like twice a year.
When police are chasing people, they don't know how old they are. They see people tussling around, someone has a knife. Their job is to protect and serve every life on that scene.
They were actually pretty good on this situation and were kind of urging people to pause and wait for more information to come out.
The initial reports didn't seem right. You were cautious about it.
Then OJ came out and he was talking about it.
I'm a little upset with most of the media. They showed us edited versions with the girl with the knife.
And we're like, OJ, look, I know that high-profile case, Chauvin, knife fights, like it's probably got you reminiscing about the glory days. But maybe sit this one out. I'm glad I missed this news cycle. I check out for all shooting news cycles because they all end up like this, where it just ends up being people rushing to have a take because everybody wants to be first, us making wrong assumptions. We saw this with a couple of shootings last month. Just freaking pause. And this is what I really wanted to talk about more than this fucked up situation in news cycle is everyone's brains are breaking. We are addicted to doom scrolling. We're addicted to the news cycle. I see parents having fallings out with their kids. It seems like anyone who watches liberal media is terrified, and anyone who watches conservative media is enraged. And you're basically given this choice between rage and fear. And I was just so happy in the desert. I didn't turn on the news. I didn't turn on the news cycle. I didn't look at Twitter once. I didn't check in at all. And it was just me and my best friend and hiking and nature, and I felt great. I felt my soul was just so happy. And it's also in this place where there's the rocks in Joshua Tree are like half the Earth's age old, and the trees grow so slowly. They've been alive longer than I'll probably ever be alive. There's so much wisdom and patience in the desert and in nature, and how small we are and how brief we're here. Is this really how we want to be spending our time? Doom scrolling and hating each other and getting mad and politicizing everything and using all of this creative energy that we have to be self-destructing and destroying each other and going after each other? Is this really what we want to be doing with it? I just can't imagine that this is good for our society at all. I am urging people to take breaks from this. If you feel yourself getting lost or feeling nihilistic or feeling like everything is hopeless, there is so much more out there. There's so much beauty in nature, and there's so much time to connect to the people that you love. Like, all of this takes away from us connecting to our animals, to our loved ones. Instead of picking up your phone and going on Twitter or going and watching some YouTube video that you know is going to only make you upset or feed that monster inside of you that wants to be fed, go and learn something new. Pick up a book, go for a walk, go exercise, paint something, make something nice and beautiful, beautify your house in some way or your environment. Go clean up garbage on the beach. Don't dump manure in the middle of a street. Go clean something up. Like, this seems like a no-brainer to me. It's all performative. This is fucking media. It's all mediated. Yep. It's ruining our brains. Like, this is our brains on dopamine and Twitter and Instagram and all these things. It is ruining us. And we have to take breaks. And I'm probably going to try and advocate for like an unplug. I'm going to do like a unplug month or something, or a couple of weeks. Maybe we'll start with a couple weeks where we just all unplug and take a break. Even if it's a couple days, it's so good. You just reset your nervous system and reset your soul. Connect to that which is bigger than you, whatever that is. Because I'm worried about people. Yeah. I'm just worried. It's not good for us.
No.
That news cycle, I was looking at the reactions and the way everyone was talking to each other. Like, it's not good. This is very bad. This is very bad. But people are still creating hilarious things for the internet. And we are going to cleanse your palate with The Internet is Glorious.
Yourself a customer. You think I own this business? You think I own IKEA? I don't give a shit.
Hi, my name is Erin. I use she, her pronouns, and I am this.
Then it's up, then it's stuck. If it's up, then it's up, then it's up, then it's stuck.
We had Angel Eduardo on Walk-Ins Welcome last week. He is a perfect person for you to listen to. He talks about his concept of star manning, which is looking for the best in somebody that you might be disagreeing with and trying to assume the best intentions for what they might be arguing and looking for places in which you both agree. Like, we can all agree that we don't want people to die. It's really inspiring. It's also motivating, I think, if you're an artist. We talk a lot about being lost. It's so good. I was on the Origin of Speakcies podcast, and I was talking about cultural appropriation. He's like culturally appropriating Johnny Appleseed culture.
This is what he actually looks like when he's not storming the Capitol.
I never thought I'd say about somebody they really needed a Viking raccoon helmet. That guy needed it.
They were really funny. It was great. Please subscribe to Phetasy.com. You can get the full, unedited, mostly version of this show. It is the place where you can go to support us. It's also where I have workouts. We have a great community. It's amazing. And you can go to BridgetPhetasy.com for merch. We have new This Is My Vaccine Passport t-shirts. We have new Stay Cool Earth t-shirts. That's it. Thank you, Better Phetasy, for the research. Thank you, Zen Pro Audio, for the mic. Thank you, Sam and Maggie. Hey, we're really trying to hit 50,000 subscribers in May. So if you think somebody in your life might like or need this show, please tell them to come and subscribe on YouTube. That's just our little goal for the team. So, and we rely on you because we're not out there really. We're just a small little operation, mom and pop operation here. This has been your Dumpster Fire for the week of April 17th to April 24th. I'm Bridget Phetasy. Now make me rich!